Thank you, Madam Warden. Good evening to you all. Thank you very much for joining us from various parts of the world and, of course, from this country. I have provided a rather long report, part of the program. I just want to give you a bit more update on it that might be of interest to you. One of the challenges we had been facing for quite some time was for all sort of reasons, we were not attracting as many students as we once did. And we have embarked on a journey to try to reverse that, and we are making good progress. Between 2019, which would be pre-COVID time frame, and now, we not only have retained the number of domestic students, we have actually grown them. And the growth took place as a result of number of initiatives that we have undertaken. And I know that there is at least one question in the Q&A that I would elaborate more on this particular issue. But let me just give you a sense of where we are now. We have been able to grow our domestic enrollment between 2019 and 2021. So this is the current situation. Numbers keep changing because we haven't closed the books yet. Domestic enrollment grew by about 9%. So there are many, many factors, but what I'm very pleased to share with you is that we have turned the corner. So this university, again, is becoming the choice university to go to in WA, and we hope that increasingly it'll be also attractive to students from other parts of this country and beyond. On the international side, border closures made it a bit more of a challenge. I'm equally pleased to advise you that our worst fears did not come to fruition. Although we regret that about 2,000 of our students are now currently stranded in various parts of the world, we have retained them through online offering of programs. And once we realized that this temporary measure is going to be rather a longer requirement, we have put together so-called learning centers in partnership with universities where volumes can support. We created effectively a campus type environment by renting classrooms and residence rooms so our students can come and learn together. They're still learning online, but they're learning together. And about half of the students who are stranded overseas have taken advantage of our learning centers. In the meantime, of course, we see hopeful signs. Vaccination rate in this country is ramping up. As a result, the discussions that we couldn't have had in the past are now progressing in terms of trying to bring some international students back. So a number of states have pilot projects in place. They had to put them a little bit in the back burner because of the outbreaks in Sydney and Melbourne and other places. But it's simply a matter of time before we'll be gradually opening our doors. So that's the student side. Of course, student side is the most important part of what we do, as far as I'm concerned. And when that side is looking good, I think we are doing well and we can look forward to a better future. The reverse, of course, is true. The research is the other activity that we undertake. Again, there, for a long period of time, there was a gradual decline in the level of research funding that we are attracting. We seem to have turned that corner as well. It's a bit premature for me to draw any definitive conclusion, but certainly this year we have received a greater share of the national funding that supports research. So that's something that is a work in progress, and we'll try to take actions in trying to improve our performance there as well. As a research-intensive university, of course, research is very important to us. So that takes me to the last one, which is also a good news story. One of the areas of interest from Convocation members is how we are doing in terms of our knowledge transfer, technology transfer. So first, let me put that issue within the context. Those who believe that technology transfer, knowledge transfer, licensing is a solution for all our financial difficulties. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Only a handful of universities around the world have been able to generate significant income from those activities, and we are not one of them. But within the context of this country, within the context of Australia, we actually do well. So we, among the group of 8 universities, we rank either second or third in terms of our licensing revenue. Last year, we brought in about $10 million. So that places us just behind University of Queensland. University of Queensland is at least 2.5 times larger than we are in terms of footprint. So we are doing well, but in terms of absolute dollar figure, it's only 10 million. So I don't want to claim too much credit for the university for that, because I know that of the 10 million, 7.5 million came from one particular medical discovery, and the rest came in bits and pieces. So we want to double down on it, not because of the financial benefits. We want to double down on it because we have a responsibility to make sure that the knowledge that we create is disseminated and benefits the broader society. Madam Warden, I'll just leave it at that. There'll be more opportunity for me to address other issues during the Q&A period.
Thank you very much, Vice-Chancellor. Well, item 8 is the Guild President's report. This is included in the agenda booklet and has been posted online on the Convocation website. I now invite Emma Mesker to deliver her report. Emma graduated Bachelor of Science in December 2020. Emma, over to you.
Thank you, Warden, and thank you, Vice-Chancellor. Thanks for having me here. And hello and good evening to everyone joining us from wherever you may be right now. Over the past few months in the Guild, we've welcomed students back onto campus in semester 2, and student engagement with events has been really great. Parking is difficult to find, and while annoying, it's a really great sign that the hustle and bustle is back on campus. To begin this semester, we ran a really successful club carnival with over 110 clubs setting up stalls and promoting their initiatives, which is definitely one of the biggest turnouts we've seen at a club carnival over the last few years. As the Convocation and the Vice-Chancellor alongside campus management is aware, we've also worked hard to work with external stakeholders such as the City of Perth and the State Premier's Office to lobby for more sustainable methods of transport to campus. Specifically, we are asking for a ferry node which can transport UWA students via the river, and also see an increased number of students from south of the river using public transport as an option to get to the UWA campus. It's been really great to see the recent announcement of a purple cat bus to UWA, and hopefully that will see a lot of students using that as an option and hopefully decrease the amount of parking issues that we experience on our campus. Furthermore, this semester we have worked alongside the university to collaborate on the UWA mental health framework. So the Guild has run focus groups in collaboration with Student Life to inform the UWA mental health framework, which is co-designed by students and staff. And hopefully the survey, which will be released later this semester, will provide great insight into forming a mental health framework that will be able to provide the university with a great level of insight into where students need support and where support is already provided in great enough. In terms of education, I continue to work alongside the Chair of Academic Board, alongside the DVCE, to advocate for supplementary exams. So for those who don't know, supplementary exams are available to students who score between 45 to 49%, And usually that's only available in the last semester of any major that a student sits. However, we're looking at making that available more frequently to students. And as a result of that, students will be able to keep up with their cohort. It will reduce the financial burden of them having to repeat that same unit, and hopefully increase student satisfaction with their education. We've also seen a lot of great changes happen digitally to our education. We have a new LMS Ultra homepage, we have lecture transcripts, and through all that, we have been advocating through our various committees that we sit on with the university to make these really positive changes. So far, we've had a lot of really positive feedback this semester. One of our greatest challenges this year is creating meaningful online engagement with offshore students. Although we have guild volunteering and many clubs and societies who endeavour to run online events, we still continue to struggle, but also try and innovate as to how we can engage students offshore or outside of our state with meaningful events that make them feel connected to our campus. Generally, in terms of our cafes and our outlets, we have updated the Barry J. Marshall Cafe, which is linked to the Barry J. Marshall Library. We've completely renovated it and installed a hot water tap and microwaves that are accessible outside of hours, so students studying there late at night have access to those services. And lastly, we ran a really awesome Student Leadership Summit event this semester with speakers from companies such as Dell, Servian and Google Cloud, which was aimed at students to prepare themselves for a fast-changing workplace and encourage students to future-proof their careers and lead forward throughout their degree with the idea of being flexible in their mindset and adaptable. For the rest of our semester, we'll be going through our OGM as normal, getting ready for Guild Ball, and we have our elections which will be coming to an end next week. But that's all from me, and thank you for your time.
Well, thank you very much indeed for your report, Emma. I'll now then move on to item 9, the Warden's report. This is in the agenda booklet and has been posted online. However, in addition to my written report on the Convocation website, I wish to highlight that the University of Western Australia needs a strong and vibrant graduate community. The Convocation Council works to enhance the reputation of the university, to maintain a long-standing commitment to undergraduate and postgraduate scholarships, bursaries and awards, encourage good governance of the university through the election of members of Convocation to the University Senate and the Council of Convocation, to bring graduates together in a range of activities, including reunions and much more. If you or someone you know would like to be involved in activities like these, please nominate for the upcoming Convocation elections. In accordance with Part 4 of the University of Western Australia Act of 1911 and the University of Western Australia Statutes Chapter 4, nominations for the 2022 Convocation elections for the position of Warden, Deputy Warden, 6 ordinary councillors and 1 member of Senate will open on the 1st of November and close on the 1st of December. In accordance with Clause 45(1) of the UWA statute, Convocation approves an electronic voting process and a postal voting process for elections. Please ensure your contact details are up to date in order to cast your vote in the 2022 elections. For more information on the Convocation elections, please contact the Convocation Officer, Juanita Perez, at convocation@uwa.edu.au or phone 6488 1336. Each year, the Convocation of UWA presents prizes and scholarships to undergraduate students, postgraduate students and graduates. Convocation's annual award ceremony was held in person on the 19th of August 2021 and was well attended by our donors and student award winners and their family and friends. Information of our awardees have been included in my written report for the ordinary meeting. All of these prizes and scholarships are made possible by graduates who contribute to excellence through their generous donations. On behalf of the Council of Convocation and our students, I thank you very much. Please contact the Convocation officer if you too would like to make a contribution to awards and scholarships. On August the 4th, the Convocation Council was pleased to have as a guest speaker Professor David Sadler, Deputy Vice-Chancellor Education. He spoke about participation in the Grand Challenges in which UWA is involved. UWA's Grand Challenges program will see our most creative minds working together to drive ongoing social transformation, working alongside our communities to better the world we live in. UWA will focus its efforts on solutions to climate change and a more just and equitable world post-COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic caused widespread change across the world, exacerbating existing injustices and widening inequalities. Meanwhile, the climate crisis continues to challenge the ways in which we act as individuals, communities, states, and as a global society. Among the Grand Challenge champions and contributors, I wish to acknowledge our own elected Convocation councillors, Dr. Raj Kurup and Dr. Aggie Gideon. Dr. Raj Kurup is one of the champions who is focusing on climate change. Raj is a multi-award-winning CEO, board member and environmental engineer. Raj was named Professional Engineer of the Year 2020 and Water Professional of the Year 2017 and was recognised by Engineers Australia as one of Australia's most innovative engineers in the consulting category for 2017. Dr. Aggie Gideon is a contributor to the Climate Change Challenge. Aggie, in the role of Research Development Advisor in international networks and collaborations, worked with researchers across the university to build new multinational projects. She was appointed as the Centre Manager for the State Centre of Excellence in Eco-Hydrology, then the Manager of the WA node of the Integrated Marine Observing System. She now works with the Australian National Data Service to make better use of Australia's research data. Lastly, this year's 50th reunion luncheon will be held on Saturday the 20th of November at the Banquet Hall in the University Club for the graduates of 1971. Past attendees and friends are also most welcome. Register online or phone the Convocation office now if you wish to attend. We are still trying to trace some lost graduates of 1971 so that they do not miss out on the celebrations. Anyone knowing the present contact details of any of these graduates is requested to pass the information to the Convocation officer. Please look at the list of lost graduates in the meeting booklet on the website and notify Convocation at UWA.edu.au. In conclusion, I wish to assure everyone that as soon as health authorities say it is COVID safe to hold a hybrid ordinary meeting, locals meeting in person at UWA and Zoom including those interstate and overseas, we will be doing so. The percentage of the population who have received their 2 doses of vaccine will be a significant factor guiding their decision. Item 10 of the agenda is the Convocation Officer's report, which is contained on pages 28 and 29 of the agenda booklet. This report is required by statute and contains a list of graduates whose whereabouts have become unknown since our last ordinary meeting in March. To assist you to locate friends and colleagues, the list is sorted by faculty and year of graduation to help you check if there is anyone you may know. If you do know the whereabouts of anyone, please contact the Convocation officer. Item 11 of the agenda is the auditor's report. The independent audit report is included in the spring ordinary meeting booklet. The audit report has been considered and endorsed by Convocation Council on behalf of the members of Convocation. The audit report is without any qualifications and demonstrates that Convocation is in a healthy financial state and able to pay its debts when they fall due. On behalf of the members of Convocation, I commend the work of the Treasurer, Dr. Fran Pesic, and the Convocation Officer, Juanita Perez, for their contribution to this excellent outcome. Item 12 of the agenda is other business, but none has been lodged.